Welcome to Cyberclassica channel with daily story updates. Remember to subscribe. The story begins. After getting a job with a monthly salary of $30,000, Ethan Carter said he wanted to celebrate together. But that night, I saw a post asking what to do if you're about to get married and your girlfriend wants a monthly salary of $30,000. The post was from a guy who was worried that he wouldn't be able to control his girlfriend after they got married. The people below were giving him advice, and the one with the most likes said you can test her obedience. For example, if your mother gets sick, give her $2,000 a month to take care of her. The poster liked this comment, and I was about to screenshot it and send it to Ethan so that he could see this disgusting thing. At that moment, Ethan sent me a voice message first. He sounded very anxious. "Honey, my mom is sick, so I can't celebrate with you tomorrow." What a coincidence! I just got a job that pays 30,000 yuan a month, and then my mom got sick. These two things happened to coincide with the post I saw. Could the poster be Ethan? But as soon as this thought came to me, I immediately dismissed it. After all, Ethan had always been a very good boyfriend. We had been together for 3 years. He had been with me every holiday, often surprised me, and always took the initiative to give me gifts. He was the kind of person who would never argue with me, so how could the poster be him? After I was sure in my heart that Ethan wasn't the poster, I didn't send him the screenshot on my phone but asked him instead with concern, "How is Martha's mother? Do you want me to go and see her?" The other person replied quickly, "No need. Don't you have to report to your new workplace tomorrow? There's no need to rush about my mother's situation." Seeing that he was thinking of me like this made me feel very warm inside. At that moment, my phone rang, and it was the author of the post replying to my previous comment about the obedience test. She said she wanted to come and see my mother, so I did what my friend suggested and pretended to care about her work and asked her not to come over yet. Reading this, I felt like I'd been hit with a bucket of cold water, and I felt cold from head to toe. There couldn't be so many coincidences in the world, unless the person who posted it was Ethan. After realizing this, I felt a chill. Was Ethan's previous concern for me all fake? Today, when I told him I had passed the interview, he excitedly hugged me and said I was great and a strong woman, but then he turned around and posted something like this online. Did he just want to control me when we were together? Why hadn't I noticed this side of him before? I still had a little hope in my heart, so I clicked on the poster's homepage. I tried to find evidence from the information on his homepage that this person was not Ethan. The poster had posted a lot, and the further I scrolled, the heavier my heart became. The person's homepage was mainly about basketball and work, and it just so happened that Ethan's usual favorite sport was playing basketball, and his work happened to be in the same field as the poster. All the evidence pointed to the poster and Ethan being the same person, but just then, I found a post the poster had made 6 months ago. The post mentioned that his girlfriend wanted to go to Florida for fun and asked for some advice. But I haven't planned any trips in the past 2 years. Could it be that I'm overthinking it and the poster is actually someone else? Could such a coincidence really happen to me? Just as I was trying not to think too much about it, Ethan sent me a voice message. "Honey, can I talk to you about something? My mom needs to rest for 3 months because of her illness, and as you know, I've recently been promoted and really can't take any time off. Can you give up that position and come to my house to take care of my mom? This will not only give you the chance to spend time with my mom, but I will also pay you 2,000 yuan a month, plus room and board. This is a really good deal for you." Hearing Ethan say this, my hands began to tremble uncontrollably, and it was as if a balloon had suddenly burst in my head. It all matched up, even the 2,000 yuan salary mentioned in the post. But what was the deal with the girlfriend who said she was going to Florida? Before I could react, Ethan sent another message, and his voice played automatically on my phone. "If you really love me and want to marry me, then you can come to my house and try being a nanny, so we can get a feel for life living together. This is a rare opportunity. You must seize it." Hearing him say this, I was very angry, so I picked up the phone and dialed a number. As soon as I got through, I asked bluntly, "You make over 10,000 yuan a month, so why can't you find a nanny? Why do you have to make me, who earns 30,000 a month, be your nanny?" "Honey, don't get angry. Let me analyze the pros and cons for you, okay?" Ethan softened his tone when he heard my angry voice. "Think about it. We were going to get married anyway, and now not only am I giving you money, but I'm also giving you the opportunity to spend some time alone with my mother, to get used to it. When we get married, you'll be better able to handle the relationship with your mother-in-law. Isn't that good news for you?" "Good news? Ethan, Your plan really surprises me. Why don't you just quit your job and stay at home to take care of your mother? I just got a job that pays 30,000 yuan a month. Do you want me to give up my career to take care of her? And you're only offering me 2,000 yuan. Nowadays, which postpartum nanny or babysitter would accept less than 10,000 yuan a month? Ethan, these conditions are outrageous. Am I supposed to be grateful to you? After saying this, I hung up the phone directly, and my mind was still buzzing. After a while, I opened the post again and saw that many people had already started to insult the poster. At that moment, I saw that the poster had replied to the previous comment about the obedience test. I mentioned to her the offer of 2,000 yuan to be the nanny, but she refused and we had a fight. How can this woman be so selfish? The commenter quickly replied, then try to move her by telling her your difficulties. Women are generally more susceptible to sentiment anyway. If she loves you, she'll definitely say yes in the end. If she gives in this time, won't you be in charge of all the family matters in the future? Thank you, brother, I understand. Seeing these comments, my hands couldn't help but start shaking. These comments clearly indicated that the poster was Ethan. I remembered that on his homepage, he had once asked his girlfriend for travel tips for Florida, and a question suddenly popped into my mind. Could it be that Ethan has other girlfriends? Ethan and I met 3 years ago through a friend's party. When we first met, someone tried to get me to drink a lot, and he helped me resist, and he gave me a sweet smile. The lights kept changing, and I was instantly attracted to his smile. Afterwards, when I was with him, he was always very nice to me. A few years ago, he came to my house to meet my parents, and they were very happy with him, and they said they hoped we could get married soon. Ethan also said he would get married this year. I thought I had met my true love and that we would start a family together. But before we could get engaged, I discovered another side of Ethan that I didn't know about. Thinking about the girlfriend he mentioned in another post who went to Florida, I gradually calmed down. I couldn't just break up with him so easily, because I'm the type of person who never lets people off the hook easily. Now I wanted to see what his true side was really like. Sure enough, an hour later Ethan called again. Dear, I'm sorry about what happened today. I was inconsiderate and put you in an awkward situation. Ethan sobbed as he spoke. I had no choice. You know, my father died young and my mother raised me. Now she's sick and I want to be a good son, so I got a little carried away. I almost couldn't stop laughing when I heard this. He wanted to be a good son, but he wanted me to take care of his mother. I haven't even married into the family yet, and he's already busy looking for someone else. I had thought about hiring a nanny before, but recently I have seen a lot of news about nannies abusing the elderly, which makes me very worried. And I have just been promoted recently. As you know, I have been waiting for this opportunity for almost a year, so I really don't have time to take care of my mother. I was just anxious to tell you those excessive demands just now, Ethan said, his voice getting more and more choked up. Hearing him complain like this, I actually found it funny. His promotion is important, but my new job with a monthly salary of 30,000 yuan is not an opportunity. I held the phone tightly, took a deep breath, and tried to calm down. I told Ethan over the phone, actually, it's not that I don't want to take care of Martha's mother, it's just that the salary you offered me, 2,000 yuan, makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. Honey, do you think the salary is too low? Think about it. We're going to be a family in the future, and I'll save up money to give you a dowry. The money is also ours. What do you think? I didn't want to hear any more of his nonsense, so I interrupted him directly and said, Ethan, do you know why I'm angry? Why? The reason I feel that you insulting me by giving me 2,000 yuan is because I feel that you don't consider me part of the family at all. How could I want money for taking care of my future mother-in-law? Hearing this, Ethan became visibly agitated. Sophia, are you serious? I really didn't know you felt that way. If I had known, I wouldn't have used money to upset you. I sneered a little and said indifferently, well, anyway, we're all family from now on, and I can find another job for 30,000, but Martha's mother still needs my care. After hanging up, I went back to Ethan's post and sure enough, I saw his triumphant reply. The obedience test was a success. She has agreed to help me take care of my mother, and she didn't even ask for $2,000. She feels that we are family, and asking for money is insulting to her. His reply quickly attracted a lot of criticism. The girl is so sincere with you, and this is how you cheat her? It's disgusting, this man, and this woman is really stupid. Seeing the comments on the post getting hotter and hotter, I was worried that Ethan would delete the post, so I took a screenshot of everything and saved it. He wanted me to listen to him, but I was already standing behind him, ready to have a good look at his embarrassment. The next day, I packed some change of clothes and went to Ethan's house. Ethan's mother pretended to be unable to move in bed and looked at me askance. They had planned to deceive me together, so I was not going to hold back. With a worried face, I asked Ethan, what illness does Mom Martha have? How come she can't even move in bed? Ethan sighed and said, my mom's illness is really strange. She suddenly couldn't move. After I get promoted, I'll take her to a big hospital for a checkup. Maybe she can be cured. But in the meantime, I'll have to trouble you. Hearing Ethan's well-rehearsed words, I pretended to sigh with great sadness, then took out a pack of long needles from my bag. Ethan, doesn't Martha's mom feel anything below her neck? If that's the case, let me try. My grandfather was a famous traditional Chinese medicine practitioner in our area, and his acupuncture skills have been passed down to my generation. Although I dare not say that I am a miracle healer, my acupuncture skills are quite good. After saying this, I didn't wait for Ethan to react, and I stuck a needle in Martha's mother's leg. She immediately felt a lot of pain, her face turned red, but the needle was only in her thigh, so she could still bear it. Martha's mother, how does it feel like this? In order to avoid being discovered, Martha's mother endured the pain and shook her head. Seeing her shake her head, I gave her another shot. Actually, I don't know anything about acupuncture, but I know that needles in the flesh definitely hurt. After I gave Martha's mother acupuncture, her eyes turned red. Ethan saw this and hurriedly pulled me away, anxiously saying, baby, my mom's illness is a bit strange, so you'd better not continue treating her. Just pull out the needles. I didn't listen to him and took out a third needle, pointing it at the spot on Martha's mother's neck. Ethan, Martha's mother, you have to trust me, my acupuncture is not bad. Seeing me smile, Martha's mother was a little nervous. Sophia, I think I can feel something in my leg. In the end, at Ethan's insistence, I still didn't put the third needle in. In the evening, Ethan still wanted to be intimate with me, and I directly rejected his request. He really thinks he can have it all. During the day, he wants me to take care of him, and at night, he wants me to be his partner. How can he possibly have it all? Seeing that Ethan was already fast asleep, I picked up the phone he had left by the bed. I wasn't worried about him waking up. After all, I had given him enough sleeping pills at dinner that even if there was a thunderstorm outside, he wouldn't be woken up. I unlocked the phone with Ethan's fingerprint and first checked his social media apps, but I didn't find any clues. I then looked for the app where he posted his posts, but I still couldn't find it. I went through his phone again, but still didn't find anything. We use the same phone and there is no hidden dual system. I also went through his briefcase and clothes, and searched the room thoroughly, but I didn't find another phone. Did I overthink it? But the fake sick Martha and what was happening made me realize that I hadn't been thinking too much. Since that approach wasn't working, I tried a different one. I signed up for a Weibo account and sent Ethan a direct message. Hello, blogger. I saw that you have a post about Florida. Can you share your tips with me? My girlfriend really wants to go to Florida, and I'm willing to pay for it. The next morning, Ethan sent me a private message shortly after leaving the house. The platform doesn't allow attachments, so I made it into a PDF and you can add me on WeChat and I'll send it to you. It wasn't long before the other person sent me their WeChat ID. I looked at this unfamiliar WeChat ID and felt a little nervous. I quickly added the WeChat ID, and although I was prepared, when I clicked into his moments, I saw photos of him with other people, and a wave of discomfort washed over me. It turned out that he really did have another girlfriend, and it seemed that they had been dating for quite some time. The feeling of betrayal instantly filled my mind. At that moment, Martha's mother started to call out. I was called back to attention by her voice, and I tried to calm down and walked into her room. As soon as I entered, I smelled an unpleasant smell, so I quickly covered my nose and looked at Martha's mother with disgust. Martha's mother cried, Sophia, I can't move or go to the toilet right now. I've just made a mess on the bed. Sophia, you're a good girl. You won't hate your aunt, will you? Hearing this, I held back my disgust and nodded. She still wanted to use this disgusting tactic against me, but I wouldn't let her get away with it today. Martha's mother, just you wait. I'll go get you a basin of hot water to wash yourself with. After saying this, I went to the bathroom, turned on the water heater, filled a basin with hot water, and splashed it directly on Martha's mother. She jumped up in surprise and screamed as she charged at me, but I was quick enough to slam the door to her bedroom and lock her in. I heard Martha's mother cursing at me angrily from inside, and I laughed coldly, saying, Martha's mother, I've just cured you. Why are you still cursing at me? After that, I slammed the basin down, grabbed my luggage and left the house. I never wanted to come back to this annoying place. After I left the house, I found a quiet place and used my trumpet to check Ethan's friend circle again. At that time, I noticed Ethan's other girlfriend and felt that she looked familiar. After thinking for a long time, I remembered that when I went for an interview a few days ago, this girl came to talk to our boss about cooperation. Coincidentally, she and Ethan work for the same company. Thinking about this, I found the project contact group that my boss had created, and sure enough, I found her contact information. The girl's name was Emily Johnson, Ethan's direct supervisor, and she was also the daughter of a wealthy family. Ethan had been chasing her for a whole year, and they had finally gotten together. Now they had been together for 2 years. Looking back, Ethan had just started going out with me at that time. I briefly told her about this, and sure enough, she had no idea that Ethan had been dating me at the same time. After learning this, she immediately wanted to ask Ethan about it, but I quickly stopped her, saying, "It doesn't feel good to expose him like this, does it? I want to bring his reputation crashing down." I asked Emily to meet me at a cafe. As soon as we sat down, Ethan called. "Sophia, what do you mean by this? I asked you to take care of my mother, and this is how you take care of her? I didn't think you would be so heartless." Hearing Ethan's agitated voice, I laughed lightly and said, "What are you talking about? I cured your mother's illness. Is that my fault too?" Ethan was momentarily stunned, but soon he recovered and asked me, "Do you know something?" "Know something? Are you talking about your post?" Hearing this, it immediately got quiet on Ethan's end. I said it straight out. "You actually came up with such a sinister idea to test me. Let's see how good you are." "Sophia, I'm not like that." Ethan instinctively wanted to make excuses, but by then I had already hung up. His phone rang again, and I just didn't answer it. Emily looked at me, took out her phone, and dialed the number. "Honey, what are you doing? I've met a new friend. She's the project leader at another company. Do you want to come over and meet her?" As soon as he heard about the connection, Ethan suppressed his emotions and said, "Honey, send me your location. I'll be right over." He hung up after saying that. Emily sent him the location and let out a soft laugh. Next, she just had to wait and see what would happen. About 20 minutes later, Ethan arrived at the coffee shop where we were. When he saw the two of us sitting together, his face turned pale and he turned and left. He ran to a corner outside the coffee shop and messaged Emily, saying, "Honey, I'm busy right now and can't get away. I'll meet this partner later." Hearing this, I placed my hand on Ethan's back and asked, "Do you have something special that you can't leave? Are you at home sorting through your mom's dirty laundry?" Ethan looked at Emily, who gave a cold smile and said, "Stop pretending. I know everything now." As soon as Emily finished speaking, Ethan knelt down. He looked up at Emily and said, "I'm sorry, Emily. I was confused and got involved with her. In fact, I really only like you. She kept pestering me, and I was weak-hearted. I couldn't bear to see her, a little girl, crying over me, so I didn't break up with her. In fact, I only love you." I couldn't help rolling my eyes when I heard these words. At this point, Emily looked at me with a little smile and said, "Did you hear that? Ethan said that the person he really likes is me. I don't mind that he was with you, but since things have come to this, I think you should quit as soon as possible." She finished, looked at Ethan, who was still kneeling on the ground, and said with a hint of mischief, "Now you have to swear to me that you will never betray me or I won't forgive you." Ethan immediately nodded and raised his hand to swear. "I, Ethan Carter, swear that I will only love Emily Johnson for the rest of my life. If I betray this oath, I will definitely be unlucky for the rest of my life." I looked at them and couldn't help sneering. "You two really are a pair, and you can actually be together. If you want this one, I'll give her to you. I hope you won't regret it." I turned around and walked away, and when I did, I bumped into Emily's shoulder. Seeing the two of us so tense, Ethan's worried expression gradually faded. When I went home to check in the evening, all of Ethan's posts had been deleted. I remembered the message I had sent to a guy on a dating app earlier. "Dude, why are all your previous posts gone? I hope it didn't get found." Ethan didn't reply until the next day, and all he said was 3 words, "Forget it, I'm so unlucky." After reading this message, I thought about it for a while, then typed quickly, portraying the image of a man who had once betrayed his feelings and been abandoned by a woman. I told him that although the woman had left, it was okay, and he would definitely find someone better. This story I made up successfully piqued Ethan's interest, and he began to reply to me frequently. I felt a little amused when I saw his constant messages, and then I got back to work. I successfully got the new job that paid 30,000 yuan a month. At that time, I told my boss that I needed 3 days to handle some personal matters, and he readily agreed. After taking care of things, I immediately started working. I quickly adapted to my new job, and my boss gave me the project that interfaced with Ethan's company, which made me feel a sense of accomplishment in the workplace. I'm so glad I saw Ethan's post that night. If I hadn't seen the real him, I might have made a decision I would regret. Thinking about this, I called Emily. I learned that she had kicked Ethan out of the project team we were working on together, and that night Ethan had sent a lot of complaining messages using my Trumpet account. The more over the top Ethan got on my Trumpet account, the more uncomfortable I felt. Did he think of me as someone like him, or did he dare to show such a bad side because no one knew each other online? When I look for a girlfriend, I want to find some independent girls or the daughters of rich people. The daughters of rich people can give me resources, while independent girls can take care of their own expenses when going out together. They will also return the favor when I buy things, and as long as I treat them better, they will feel that I am true love. I never thought that this post would cause trouble. What's so great about a monthly salary of $30,000? In the end, don't we still have to get married and take care of a man? As for those rich girls, although they are a bit willful, the resources and projects they provide are real. If I were to get married, I would still prefer a girl from a wealthy family. After all, I can make good use of her, and we can separate when the time comes. My mother has worked hard her whole life, and I don't want to marry someone like her again. When I saw these words posted by Ethan, I immediately sent screenshots to Emily. I'm sure he's still upset about Emily being jealous of him. Emily gave a contemptuous smile when she saw the screenshots. Didn't he like to test people? Then I'll show him what it's like to change slowly. In the next few days, several projects in Ethan's hands were suspended one after the other. 1 or 2 projects were fine, but more than that made him feel stressed. He began to feel overwhelmed. In his opinion, Emily was just a rich girl who didn't do anything, but he forgot that although they were in a relationship and worked at the same company, their statuses were actually different. Ethan thought that he could confront Emily because he had some resources at his disposal, but in fact that was only the tip of the iceberg of Emily's strength. After losing the projects, Ethan followed Emily around every day, busy pouring water over her and greeting her. When I arrived at Emily's office, I happened to see Ethan massaging her legs. I know you're a little angry with me because of what happened with Sophia, but don't worry, I really have nothing to do with her now. Really? I stood in the doorway and sneered a little, then knocked lightly on Emily's office door. When he saw me, Ethan jumped up immediately and looked at me and said, "Sophia? Why are you here? It's not because you can't bear to break up with me and you've come here to find me, is it? I'll tell you. I'm only concerned about Emily now. Forget it, even if you chase after me, I won't get back together with you. You'd better not waste your time." Hearing these words, Emily and I couldn't help but laugh. Emily walked over to me, put her arm around my shoulder and said to Ethan, "This is the other person in charge of our project. She's not here to get back together with you. She's here to talk to me about work." Emily's words were like a bolt from the blue, and Ethan was very shocked. At this point, he finally understood and pointed at Emily and me and said, "So, you two arranged all this?" "Yes, we planned it all in advance. We arranged to meet you at the cafe to make you feel important, and we made sure you broke up and got back together again. I also planned to kick you off the project a long time ago." Emily stared at him and asked, "Do you really think I'm some kind of idiot?" Ethan looked at us, his eyes full of anger, clearly very angry. He was about to say something, but I interrupted him immediately. "Ethan, I advise you not to get angry, because I have just printed out and posted all over the place your 2 timing and testing on A4 paper." Hearing this, Ethan's face immediately changed. At this time, his boss called him, and Ethan completely lost his cool. He glared at me and Emily angrily, and finally turned and walked towards his boss's office. Everyone's attention was focused on him as he walked past the workstations outside. This time, he really was famous. Not only did he not get the promotion, Ethan was also suspended without pay due to his work style. Suspension without pay sounds good, but in fact it was forcing Ethan to resign. Ethan left, still looking at us with resentment. "You've driven me away. But what about your project? I've put a lot of effort into these projects. Without me they have no soul." Emily sneered, "So take your soul with you and go far away." After Ethan left, we got down to work on the project. When I got home from work in the evening, I received a WeChat message from Ethan on my Trumpet. He complained endlessly there, complaining about why he wasn't a rich second generation, complaining that his boss didn't understand him, and complaining about not having a girlfriend who could understand him. Seeing what he wrote, I couldn't help but frown, but I pretended not to know what had happened and asked him, "What's wrong, buddy?" Seeing that someone cared, he immediately told me the whole story. "Those two disappointing women actually betrayed me. Now I've lost my job and the relationship I had with that rich girl. But she comes from such a powerful family. There's really nothing I can do. It makes me so angry." As I listened to his words, my frown grew tighter and tighter. Ethan seemed to be thinking about something dangerous. He didn't dare to do anything to Emily because he couldn't afford to offend her, but I was just a salaryman. If he really did something to me, I might not even have a chance to react. Thinking about this, I said to Ethan through the trumpet, "Buddy, didn't you say that you know a lot about these projects? If you sell the project information and screw up these projects, then these two women will be—" I didn't finish my sentence. I saw Ethan send a sinister smile, so I immediately deleted that message. If he wants to do something bad to me, then I'll get him arrested first. Emily and I stayed at the company for 2 days, and finally, late at night on the 3rd day, we caught Ethan stealing the project information. He thought that he could bribe the security guard to turn off the surveillance cameras and get away with it, but we were waiting for him. We saw that Ethan was about to successfully export the project, so Emily and I turned on the lights in the office. The lights came on immediately, brightening the entire office, and Ethan had nowhere to hide. This really exposed him and his evidence. "What are you two doing here?" Ethan looked at Emily and me, his face showing panic. I sneered. "We came back to talk about things and didn't expect to catch you stealing data." When Ethan heard the word stealing project data, his face immediately turned ugly. "Don't be ridiculous. Who saw me steal data?" he retorted. Emily stared at him and said coldly, "You're on leave without pay. Aren't you trying to come to the company for free to help out? The company can't fire you easily. Are you trying to do something illegal and send yourself to jail?" Ethan became silent after hearing this. He lowered his head and took out a fruit knife from his bag. "What do you two girls think you can do to me? If you push me too hard, I might do anything." Emily and I looked at each other. Ethan pointed the knife at us and said, "Don't mention what happened today. Let me go and I won't bother you. If you push me, I can't guarantee what will happen." Seeing the knife in Ethan's hand gleaming, Emily and I were both scared. Just as Ethan was gloating, a few policemen with guns suddenly burst in. Ethan was caught red-handed and was sentenced to 20 years in prison for financial crimes and attempted assault. Hearing this result, Ethan was completely stunned. He went crazy and knelt down to apologize, but it was too late. As for the trumpet that gave him the idea, it was anonymous to begin with, and the message was withdrawn and the account deleted, so no one could find me. The 3rd day after Ethan went in, I went to Emily's company to discuss the project. Before we finished talking, a woman in disheveled clothes suddenly burst into the meeting room. When she saw Emily and me, she knelt directly in front of us and bowed 3 times in a row. When she looked up, it turned out to be Martha's mother. "Sophia, Emily, you were both Ethan's girlfriends. Can you really bear to see him in prison? You two are not being nice. He was your boyfriend. How can you not help him? You are both my daughters-in-law. You have to find a way to get my son out." The colleagues in the meeting room laughed when they heard these words. Everyone in the company knew that Ethan's problems were caused by the two of us, and now Martha's mother has actually come to us. I sneered and pushed Martha's mother away. "Martha's mother, I want you to understand, your son is in jail because he messed with us. He was unfaithful, and we're not here to help you get him out." Martha's mother sat helplessly on the floor, slapping her thighs. "He wanted to give each of you a home, didn't he? What did he do wrong? You're really not being fair to him." I looked at Martha's mother and smiled slightly. "Martha's mother, do you remember what it feels like to be pricked with a needle? I feel that your current mental state seems to be a bit off, and it seems like it's time for a needle." Martha's mother's face turned pale when she thought about what I had done before. She had previously helped Ethan fake an illness to see how obedient I was, and it was to be expected that she would come to see us today. When I said I wanted to give her an acupuncture treatment, Martha's mother suddenly jumped to her feet and pointed at me, saying, "As a wife, you have such a heart, watching your husband being sent away. In ancient times, this would have been punishable by law." She accused me using these archaic concepts. Emily sneered, walked over, and put herself between me and Martha's mother. "Martha's mother, you need to understand that this is the 21st century, not ancient times. Trying to restrict us women with multiple wives. Are you kidding?" "That's right, Martha's mother. Actually, your son is the one who did wrong." "What exactly do you mean by asking us, Emily and Sophia?" "Here, Martha's mother, your son has committed theft and threatened people. Isn't someone like him a social outcast? I advise him to stay here quietly." Seeing everyone blaming Ethan, Martha's mother couldn't stand it anymore and turned and ran out. But after a few steps, She fell to the ground, clutching her chest. We were worried that she was faking, so we kept calling her for a long time, even saying that we were trying to save Ethan to get her to wake up, but she still didn't respond. In the end, we had to call an ambulance and take Martha's mother to the hospital. Martha's mother doesn't have to pretend to be sick anymore because she already has problems such as high blood pressure and cerebral infarction. She has been running around these past few days dealing with Ethan's situation, and her emotional outburst today triggered her illness. Now she feels weak all over and may have to stay in bed unable to move. Is this kind of thing considered karma?